Welcome back to BustedOpenNation.com, an exclusive for the Busted Open Nation. Mortman, LaGreca, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Ho! What's up, Hacksaw? How you doing?
Well, that's it, brother. That's the first thing Hacksaw's got to do is give a big hey! Kind of fires me up, gets me ready to go.
I'm excited for the reunion tonight because, let's face it, there's some tension on the set, and was there anything while filming this addictive reality series that surprised you?
Actually, it really kind of did. When I got there, they said, well, you have to have a roommate. I'm like, well, I haven't had a roommate since college. Whom they're going to put me with? And they said, you're rooming with Piper. I'm like, oh, my God, Marty Piper. But funny, me and Pipe became best friends over that period of time. Our families are friends now. Even our daughters are good friends. So we really hit it off. And then, as we were mentioning, on the other end of the spectrum, me and Tony Atlas almost had a fist fight a couple of times. So from one extreme to the other.
Yeah, let's start with Tony for a second, because that was a consistent theme through Legends House, that you guys just didn't seem eye to eye. What was it? Just a difference in philosophies? What caused the tension between you and Atlas?
Well, I've known Tony for 25 years or so, and we've butted heads for 25 years. We never really got along, but we've always been in a locker room, dressing room type situation where he's on his end and I'm on mine, and you say hello. But when you take 8 guys and stick them together in a house for that length of time, you're forced to live with each other. And, I just got tired of Tony's BS.
Well, I'm sure you're going to be doing a lot of reminiscing tonight, and I'm sure you're going to have some flashbacks. I hope you don't do the whole manscaping thing again. Was there a favorite moment doing this series?
Yeah, actually, I like the LARPing. When we did the LARPing episode, which I had no clue what it was, live action role playing, and we were able to go to the costume shop and pick out any kind of costume you wanted, and I like to have fun. I'm a silly guy. I had the rabbit ears in the costume shop, jumping around like a giant bunny. And then, of course, we went out into the middle of the desert, and they had like 40 or 50 guys all dressed up in their LARPing gear come charging over the hill. It was actually kind of intimidating, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the whole experience pretty much, except Tony.
You mentioned Piper before as your roommate. It almost seemed like, Jim, that you were really his support system, because Roddy had his struggles at times, which we all got to see. And as Dave mentioned, this was quite the addictive series here on WWE Network. But it seemed like you really were Roddy's, the person that Roddy could lean on.
Yeah, well, I think we kind of leaned on each other and got each other through the deal. But Pipe, he has a lot of things going on inside that head there. So, and there's so much stuff. I wonder what they're going to do with all that video, because we had, 5 different crews following us around. They had stationary cameras, hidden cameras. They even had a confessional we could go in and talk to. So there's a lot of times that Pipe would lay on the floor, and I'm sitting there on the bed, and he was just talking about things that happened in his life. It's funny how close we really became. I just talked to him yesterday, a matter of fact. We really hit it off.
Well, I got to tell you, my neighbors are upset at you because I have about 25 plastic pink flamingos in my front yard.
Gene Oakland is still mad about that. He's like, we had the better commercial. I've been seeing everywhere I go, people bring flamingos here. Flacco flamingos, Flacco flamingos. We had a catchy little deal there.
Did you learn anything about yourself while doing this series?
Yeah, I think I did. I mean, you're away from your family for that length of time, and you're with other guys. You do a lot of soul searching and try to find out what's important in your life, and so you do a lot of reflecting. And sometimes you do get a little homesick. That was part of the deal, and that's why we all had to lean on each other.
Regarding the homesickness and obviously being away from the family, is this something that you would ever consider doing again?
Yeah, I would. I think I had a lot of fun. We're staying out at, I think it was the Harpo Marx Mansion in Palm Springs. I mean, any kind of food you wanted, whatever you wanted, they would bring for you. And it was a neat experience. And of course, everybody in the WWE wanted to be part of that 8 guys. I mean, Jake the Snake, Ted DiBiase, Sergeant Slaughter. Everybody wanted to be part of it. So to be one of those 8 guys chosen, it was an honor. So I would do it again. The only 2 guys we talked it over that wouldn't do it was Pat and Gene. They said they don't think they'd do it again. But I think the rest of us all had a pretty decent time.
All right, of the people that weren't involved, is there one personality that you think would be perfect for a Legends House?
I think everybody, when you together that long, you really get to know guys. So I think if anybody you get to know that well would add to it. But a guy like maybe Jake the Snake Roberts in particular, of course, I think he'd be trying to break out of the house all the time.
Oh, my goodness.
Be like the Great Escape with Steve McQueen,
right? Jim, it was an emotional finale, and a lot of things were revealed. Jimmy Hart. I mean, that just really hit the heartstrings for everybody. Learning about his daughter, but Pat Patterson specifically. Was it a surprise to you? Was it a surprise to the rest of the crew when he came out on the final episode?
No, I think that was a pretty well-known secret throughout the WWE that Pat was gay. I think everybody kind of knew that. But for him to actually come out and say that, I think that was a opening time for Pat. I think that's something that he needed to do, and I think he's really glad that he did it.
All right, coming out of this series, all kidding aside, coming out of this series, who would you rather punch in the face? Tony Atlas or Gary Busey?
That's a toss-up. I could give him a 1-2 and nail both of them.
Oh, my goodness.
But probably, Tony, because when Gary Busey came in, Tony was sitting there listening to him like he was the Messiah or something. Everything Gary said, Tony was like, yes, yeah. And Gary's so far off the wall, he's crazier than most wrestlers.
It's like he was leading like a Mensa meeting right there. Gary Busey leading a meeting of the minds. Go figure. My goodness. So, here's one thing I was wondering, too. Obviously, the Legends House reunion special airs tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, WWE Network. Great part about WWE Network, by the way. You can watch this anytime.
Yeah.
So the debut is 8 p.m., but it'll live on the WWE Network.
You can go back and watch any episode. It's great.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
But when was the reunion taped with Lawler? Was that a recent thing, or was that some time ago?
No, that was pretty recent. I think 2 or 3 months ago down in Orlando at the training facility, Lawler came in, and it was good. That was the first time, of course, that the 8 of us has been all together again. And, it was good to see everybody. Even, Tony, to say hello to him, it was okay. And, of course, during the reunion, everybody was kind of sugarcoating it, saying, Tony wasn't that bad. And finally, I had enough. I said, hey, Tony was a pain. There's a little more fireworks going on at the reunion show, too.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
There's a hook.
Yeah. Like I said, for 30 years we've been butting heads. So it's, and if I see you tomorrow, we'll probably butt heads again.
That's good. That's a good tease for tonight. I guess you and Tony Atlas are going to go at it tonight. Just my prediction. If there's going to be fireworks, it's probably going to be between you and Tony.
Well, funny, Tony I can understand having trouble with me and Piper. We're a pain also. I can have trouble with him having trouble with us. But Tony had trouble with everybody in the house. I think, having trouble with Hillbilly Jim, Jim is like a Buddhist monk. He's the easiest going guy in the world. So to have trouble with a hillbilly, you really got to be doing something.
How true is that? I'll tell you. Hey, Hacksaw, one final one for me, kind of off the beaten path, because I do recall recently, you had the bit with Rusev, and now, you're getting all those USA chants, when Rusev and Lana come out. Is it kind of cool that WWE has brought back the whole USA versus the foreign national kind of guy? And I'm sure it hits home for you, too.
Yeah, I think, it's just something folks are proud of their country. Folks are proud of America. And, with all the stuff that's going on in the world politically, the World Cup, the soccer deal going on, folks just want to chant USA. And that's, I've been doing it for years. It's been an honor for me to carry our flag all over the world and have folks chant USA. But, with what's going on in Ukraine, you could almost see this one coming.
Yeah, and Rusev is a beast too. He's plowing through people right and left.
That broad he got with him, I about had it with her too.
Well, Hacksaw, I can't wait to watch WWE Network tonight. I mean, WWE Network is ending marriages. Let's face it. It's so addictive that people are on it so much, and I'm sure there's some divorces where number one is WWE Network. So I can't wait to watch it tonight.
And Hacksaw, in Dave's case, because he already is divorced, he's not going to get married again. So that's what WWE Network has done for him.
And thank you for that. Please thank everyone at the WWE for me for that one.
And, that's something we're proud of at Legend House. It's the number one show on the network is Legend House. So we like to give all the young guys the business if the old-timers are coming in and stealing the spotlight on them.
Well, Legends House was just absolutely tremendous. The reunion special tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, WWE Network, Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Jim, always a pleasure having you on the show.
Well, thank you. Nice to be with you guys. You know what we got to do before we go? Let's go, fellas.
Ho!
USA!
I love it.
You're the best, Jim. Thank you.